Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you've been having a good week. It feels good to be moving past this snowstorm and just getting back to normal. I hope you guys have adjusted well. So today, we're going to talk a bit about goal setting and character and how these things are innately tied together. Okay, so a lot of these ideas are actually building on the foundational principles of Stoicism. And if you find this interesting, then I would recommend researching Stoicism a bit. Or if you guys are truly interested, I would be okay with making a video about that in the future. So, to start off, we're going to talk about character. Okay, so character is defined more so by your actions than anything else. Okay, now the two foundations of character are going to be your values and your behaviors. All right, so you have personal values, which are things that are meaningful to you, and these are going to be the foundational beliefs that you use to navigate the world and your behavior and how you believe that you should interact with those around you, how they should interact with you, etc. This is heavily tied to morality, ethics, etc. And these values are significant, okay, because they do motivate our behavior. However, your actions are far more significant, and they actually supersede your values when it comes to defining your character. If you claim to have a belief in one thing and then you act in opposition to that belief, then it is your action that dictates your true belief. As an example, let's just use the golden rule as an example, because it's a pretty widely understood principle. So you claim that you should treat others the way that you want to be treated. You think that the world would be better if everyone acted this way. If you claim to have this belief and then you claim that everyone should be acting in unity, be peaceful and kind to each other, and then you treat people like absolute crap all the time, then you don't believe that. It's that simple. You might claim to have that belief, and you might see yourself as being that type of person, but your actions show otherwise. Your actions show that, as a matter of fact, you're okay with treating people poorly, and you're okay with the outcomes of that behavior. So very easily you could see how the way that someone acts is far more significant for defining them as a person and what they believe, more so than what they claim to believe. And we do this a lot, actually. People have a version of their self that they believe to be, but then they don't actually act in accordance to that version of themselves. And you'll find actually that typically we judge other people by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions. So you have to recognize that that is how other people perceive you. They are quite simply seeing your actions, and that's how you impact the world. No matter how you think about the world, how you act is what results in your impact of the world. And that's, once again, why it is more significant in defining your character. Okay, now with that being said, character it's an important aspect of who you are, because it's kind of just, by definition, it's a reflection of what makes you who you are. It's what you stand for. It is what you believe. It's the impact that you have on the world, and it's very significant for you because it's what makes you you. Okay. Now, with that being said, when it comes to goal setting, I argue that intrinsically, the more difficult your goal is that you set out to achieve, the more meaningful it is when you achieve it. And through that standard, the greater your character is reflected as well. Okay? Now, what I'm saying is, if you say that you live a life in which Everything was given to you. You receive that which everyone seeks to achieve in their lifetime, the great success as relative to your society's core beliefs. So say you have great wealth, a happy marriage, etc. If these things were all lined up and given to you from birth, can you said to have achieved anything? What have you achieved, really? All you did was live out your circumstances. And yes, it's nice that you would get to have lived and experienced that life. But those circumstances, they wouldn't be as great of a reflection of your character because they're not tied to your choices. Okay? Now, let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Say that you had nothing and it was very difficult for you to achieve any of the societal goals that you were given. And I say we're given because we don't quite choose them, they're given to us. And you achieve them despite the odds, and you are able to actually reach the same status as someone who had everything given to them. Which of those two people has greater character? Which of those two people has achieved more? It is the person who has acted and, despite the odds, has sculpted that life for themselves that has more character that's reflected through their actions. Now, this is also because of the basic fact that whenever something is simple and you react in accordance with your beliefs, yes, you're acting in accordance with your beliefs, but it is whenever something is difficult and you still act in accordance with those beliefs, that is what truly tests your character and your beliefs. And if you're still able to make the correct choice that's in accordance with your values, whenever it is the harder choice to make and when it is difficult, that is what shows true character. That is what shows what your true beliefs are. And that is how you can test yourself and you can know yourself. And that is what defines you. Whenever something is difficult and you work toward it because it is hard, because it isn't easy, and you still act exactly how you claim you ought to act, and you still act in accordance with those beliefs that you claim everyone should have, and you do it when it is hard, then yes, you have those beliefs. And it is, whatever it is that you're able to achieve is more meaningful, and as I said, intrinsically it reflects more character because you had those challenges. I just want you to always keep that in mind whenever you're working toward anything in your life, whatever it is that stands in your way, whatever obstacles are before you. The fact that you've had those obstacles is an opportunity. It is a challenge that the world is giving you to test your might, your willpower, and to see who you are. Now, you should be thankful. You really should. Because the more obstacles you have, the more character you are capable of achieving, and the more meaning you will find in your life. That is all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you found these ideas interesting, and if you have these obstacles or not, I just want you to keep that in mind and act in accordance with your beliefs and be the person that you believe yourself to be. Thank you for taking your time to watch my video today. If you enjoyed this content, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a good rest of your week.